So great to have you all here. Thank you for taking time for this important discussion. And maybe we'll start directly with the assessing the current state, where we are standing as a Germany. So the first project of both BMWK and BMWF initiative started 2021, 2022, some of them 2023. Maybe I'll start with you, Mr. Ploss. How do you assess Germany's standing now in 2024, 3 years after the government committed €2 billion?
Yep, I had been part of this I would say, adventure and initiative from the very beginning. And you have to put it into kind of three pieces. The first is the application. And when we were discussing the need for quantum computing capability, then it was driven very much for how much will quantum computing be a key differentiator in the application of quantum computing. This is why finally the QUTAC was established, but this part, I would say, has different approaches and not so much the support from the government, which is maybe having different reasons. The other one was that we looked into the total architecture of quantum computing, where we said you have to think about the higher level software, the windows of quantum computing, or the axle of quantum computing, whatever you call it, and the quantum computing itself. And I think we made great progress, especially on the hardware, where the most focus came to. And the discussion at that time was already which will be the right system to decide for. And there was a big debate because the opinion, at least from a part of the group, was that it is most important to achieve a large scale, I would say a very significant sized computer. This may be the second best technology, but you have to get moving because worldwide we see quite some initiatives in progress. So all these initiatives being set up, I think we made good progress. The support of the industry went very well. I think here, I would say we should focus much more on supporting also larger scale enterprises, because that will be a marathon, not a short run in order to do. But I think the initiative was a great one. It drew a lot of interest. A lot of people came here to Germany in order to engage it. And now we have to make sure we sustain it over the time.
Thank you very much. Heike, so Mr. Ploss said that the hardware, in terms of hardware, we progressed in Germany quite a lot. In terms of application, seems like there's more support needed, and we are, if I understood correctly, maybe dragging a little bit behind here without this support. Do you share these perspectives?
So I think, I mentioned it before, right? We have a full stack. We have the hardware which is needed, you have the software which is needed, and all of the applications which are needed. And I think at the very beginning, there was a lot of focus, and this probably initiated because the physics community initiated the whole quantum thing, right? And the physics community likes to build quantum hardware. So therefore, at the beginning, there was a big focus on the hardware. And I think QUTAC, they also made a very, very nice initiative to say, okay, we as companies, and this is actually when you also look at the consulting reports, which say, okay, what is the market opportunity in quantum computing? Then there is the hardware, and then there is the applications. And the applications part has, of course, a much higher market volume to collect. And I think, though, QUTAC made a great start, and we saw more before, to really focus also on the quantum applications which are relevant for the industry in Germany, in Europe, etc. And I think also when Germany was bringing also a first quantum computer in 2021 into Germany, this already helped a lot and triggered also the momentum with Fraunhofer, who worked with the partners on quantum applications to really kind of drive this field also of the research and development.
Thank you very much. Mr. Breit, so the DLR, the initiative that was assigned by BMWK to build quantum computing initiative at the end, invested over 5 million euros, if I calculated it correctly, into hardware demonstrators and software demonstrators. Can you maybe elaborate a little bit what are your goals in terms of what do you plan to achieve by 2026 in both hardware and software, and where is your main focus lies there?
Okay, so we didn't start with the 2020 package. We started way before that, investing in quantum technologies on the software side and on the hardware side. I have been responsible for AI and digital technologies until June this year, and back then we were responsible for the software side of quantum computing. And nowadays I'm responsible for a lot of other things and the DLR, so now I see the hardware side of quantum computing. Just to reassure you that we see both sides of the picture and we are investing in both sides of the picture. The thing is, why are we investing in hardware with the DLR? It has, I would say, we are aiming for three things. The first is we are aiming for technological sovereignty, and I need to spend some words on what do we mean by that. The former Chancellor Angela Merkel said, technological sovereignty does not mean that you need to do everything by yourselves. It means that you need to be able to do everything by yourself. Which means that we are perfectly fine if other countries are very good at quantum technologies and even buying their products when they offer quantum technologies on the market. But Germany and German companies need to be able to fill that gap if we actually want to do this on a national or European basis. This is what sovereignty means for us. It doesn't exclude others. It's something that we want for ourselves. So technological sovereignty is the first thing. Technological openness is the second thing, because we are not just investing in the same things that IBM, for example, does, that Google, for example, does. We are investing in a lot of other technologies, and we at least say that we do not know yet which of these technologies will be the first that delivers the quantum advantage, or if they work at all. But nevertheless, investing in them means that you bet on the race and not just on a horse. And we like to bet on a race because we're the government and we do be careful with taxpayers' money. The third thing that we are actually aiming for is that for quantum to be actually more than just a fancy idea, it needs to deliver on the business side. It needs to deliver on the application side. And this is what we actually want to foster, because we are the Ministry of Economic Affairs. Other ministries care about basic research, they invest a lot of money in research, but for us it is of utmost importance that small and medium enterprises, industries, startups, all these guys come together in a coherent ecosystem that we foster with money, with connections, and then they bring quantum technologies into adoption in the broader market. This is of utmost importance for us because the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And this means that we are happy if IBM makes progress. We are happy if Google makes progress. We are happy when DLR makes projects make progress and German startups make progress, because in the end, we want to have German companies somewhere on top of the race. We want to have European companies somewhere on top of the race, but it is of importance that the broader market, small and medium enterprises that actually can use quantum technologies in the future, have something that they can buy.
So that would you consider being success for QCI if, so to say, by 2026? Maybe it's a bit earlier.
It's a bit early.
Yeah.
So
what are expectations for 2026?
Bear with me for a second here, because when would you say the iPhone was a success? Was it in 2008 when the second generation came on the market and people were no longer telling other people that you do not need this thing because it only makes fancy SMS? Was it in 2015 when they sold more than Google and when it came to global phone markets? The iPhone is a success because it is a platform and it is used widely. But there is not that single moment. For quantum, you could say, yes, the quantum advantage would be a single moment where everything says, look, this technology is a successful technology. But in the end, it is successful when it's widely spread. The error correction works at least close to perfection. And then a lot of people are able to use the technology for their advantage. Because in the end, it's just a means to an end. And it is not just the end itself that quantum is going to work. And to answer your question very precisely, I do not see this until in 2026, but our goal is to make sure that the money we invested is not sunken costs. So we actually aim for a financial plan going on, 26 going on. And the second thing is that all the working hours that you guys invested in your companies and in the ecosystem are going to foster the ecosystem even more, so that we can establish Germany as one of the main hubs when it comes to global quantum computing.
Mr. Ploss, how do you see the goals of the ministry?
Yeah.
You see it similar from the industry perspective?
Well, not completely. When I look back, the discussion started much before 2021 when the project was kicked off. And one concern was that if you are a user of quantum computing, and similar to what we see in the digital domain, that more and more of the know-how moves to the people who are the provider of digital competencies. So the people in the chemical industry and the pharmaceutical industry, which are the number one potential users of quantum computing, said they are very concerned that their know-how, by working closely together with these companies, will somehow end up in these companies, and they will lose their base. This was one reason why we said, yeah, we have to be autonomous enough in Germany in order to have enough quantum computing capability to define these high-level layers, which makes the difference in the use case. And finally, there was also the call that we should have a German quantum computer. The problem at that time was very clear. We have no company which is making computers in Germany. So there were no company who were raising their hand when it came to answer or to apply for the question who will move forward. Then we said, yeah, we try to do it on collaboration. And I think the initiative started at that time at DLR is quite positive. On the other side, I believe when you look at quantum computing, like many of these computing challenges, and I think when we ask IBM, it's a large invest and it's a long time you have to be able to move along. I'm not so sure that the small and medium enterprises have the endurance and capability, and even in the startup scene, we see a lot of great ideas and things moving forward. So my recommendation was always to think about how, as we in Germany, can we support kind of a collaboration in order to, I would say, have our own stance in quantum computing regarding hardware and software, especially in the software, that we are autonomous enough. I would say, support of the application side as of today is very minimal. I would say the number of projects there, I haven't seen many going on, and the problem there is you have to support the companies to work together. And here we are overly stringent in the political domain, in the antitrust regulations. In many part of this world, this is much more easy to collaborate on these than it is in Germany or the European Union. So my recommendation is moving forward, and of course also in the collaboration with IBM, think about how to enable a large-scale capability and work together I would say MNCs with the medium and the smaller enterprises in order to create a capable software or hardware, I would say, platform. And this I don't see yet. I really appreciate and I have a lot of respect for the efforts by the Ministry of Economic Affairs and the Ministry of Research, but I would say we should take the next step. And we also should, what we demanded from the very beginning, establish kind of a platform where we decide what, after so many years of exploration, what should be the path Germany should take in order to, and you had the discussions before about the various concepts for quantum computing. Where should we focus on that we think about how to, I would say, getting more focus and finance these more strongly. On a worldwide competition, especially also on the governmental support, or I think you have to make this clear, the focus, and I think for 2026 we have to make a call where we move on, be it on the hardware, be it on the software level, or be it on the application.
Yeah, about the clear focus, we will also touch this point, because I think it's a big question in the space currently. How do we make this clear focus, and where? Maybe just a quick question, Mr. Breit. I saw you were very, maybe not very happy with the statement that there is no support for applications. Do you consider that the government funding of the software and application side is sufficient in that sense to really support development of applications? Do you see less concern there than Mr. Ploss?
It's always a trap asking a civil servant whether its funding is sufficient. Yes, I would obviously love to have more money for applications. Nevertheless, as I said, we are funding applications for a long while now. And the thing is that these, it's not just the hardware there's hardware progress and there's software progress, but these things need to be intertwined. So in the end, we could reassess that position, but for now, it was something else that made me kind of question the remark. It was like, do you remember the time when we all watched movies at home on DVD? And then the DVD was getting kind of out of fashion, and people were fighting, or Microsoft and Sony were fighting up for the succession of the DVD. And there was Sony with the Blu-ray, and Microsoft with a product that I forgot how it was called. And Microsoft was way bigger back then. It had a way higher customer base, and it was actually probably even the superior product. But the thing is, Sony nevertheless prevailed. And they did so for a lot of reasons, but in the end, if you would have spent money back then, Microsoft would have been the pure play, or the better play back then. So what I try to say is, just because there's now, and I do not disagree, but I would love to have more time to find out which horse in the race is actually going to reach the goalpost, at least. Even the bigger companies, they are on the way. They might be on a good way, but it's not defined now that theirs is the superior technology. And this is where I just would love for support for more openness when it comes to this approach. Because as I said, betting on the race is probably better than betting on a horse.
How can we approach this race then? That comes to the question of the clear focus. I think we all kind of aware of the situation with the government budget, and also that maybe it will be tough to fund so many projects and in such a big volumes.
We do that. I was last Friday. I was in Hamburg. Mr. Axmann and the DLR Quantum Computing Initiative. They actually do that. They bet on the race and not just on the horse. And what I said is that we are looking for a way to make sure that the funding is going on from 2026 onwards. Mm-hmm. And the first question you asked, what happens if there is a new government? Well, the most outspoken research politician that the CDU/CSU, for example, has is Thomas Jatzombeck, and he's actually very vocal about quantum. So even if the government would change, I do not see support for quantum computing crumble. I think it's a future technology everybody needs to have needs to address. So I would say quantum computing is, like AI and others, one of the key focus of the Ministry of Research and the Ministry of Economic Affairs for the next decades to come. Doesn't really matter which government is or how the government is formed.
So what I hear is like we still can expect kind of broad support of this race.
Yes.
That's. I think everybody's happy to hear that in terms of support of different platforms. Or Mr. Ploss, would you agree with that, or you would like to have really strong focus on the software side?
Well, I think you cannot solve everything by funding. And here I would say, in Germany, we have to admit that we do not have a very strong computer industry. Mm-hmm. The majority which we are buying is buying from US or outside of Germany. So one idea is, can we, I would say, get stronger again? And here is, well, I'm not demanding as a former industry leader, or now I'm in a role in QUTAC, for that everything is done by the government. But I really advertise, I really call for that we should have a much stronger effort in order to be a significant player, and be it together with our American friends, and I'm pretty sure you can comment on this on the application side, but we cannot let it go. And this is somehow where you see that a lot of technology is already down the road. And in QUTAC we have said the application will be still quite far away, but we want to have the competence when the computers will be capable enough to define the next, I would say, molecule for a greener planet, or a plastic which will dissolve in 2 years when it comes into environment, or whatever it is. We want to be part of that game and not ask others in order how to do it. Because that is a domain in chemical, pharmaceutical, where we are strong. We see enough industries where we are on the retreat. Now we have to fight forward. And that is the idea of the QUTAC we have. And nevertheless, there I say, please support the collaboration, point one. And please, I think you may be able to comment on it. At the end, you need a big guy on the block in order to make sure that quantum computing software platform and quantum computing hardware platform is available, and that you have a kind of a technology autonomy. And to be very honest, we talk, and you said you must be able to. Well, are we able to do our own AI processor in Germany? Maybe we know how to, but we are not able to do it. Because the technology advantage of doing it and the capability of manufacturing in larger scale, it's such a challenge that to catch up and to do it does not happen overnight. And therefore, I think really being able to do it needs a base on which you can establish it. But at this time, I stop because I'm very evangelistic on that.
So no, I'm happy to comment on that and on your discussion which you had before. I think important are really partnerships, and I think we all agree that for the German and European companies who are strong, they want to have access to quantum computing fast, and they want to learn and be at the forefront of pioneering the use of it. Right? Even if they not build it, like you said, right? The chemical industry is very strong. They want to be the first also if there are applications where quantum computing can make a difference and really accelerate the innovation, finding new materials in which area whatsoever. They want to be the ones who have it at hand first, and also, which is very important, have the capabilities to use it. And the capabilities to use it, you only get when you work on it. You only get when you make your feet wet. You only get when you really develop algorithms and work on the best existing hardware in the end. That's where you learn most. And I think showing this morning, there are not many where we have qubits above 100, right, which are working decent. And it's not so easy to just go there and use them right now, because there is still a lot of development and a lot of research needed in how to figure out how to best use them. And we see that the ones who are fast there, they are learning, and they are getting an advantage by learning to use this hardware. That's a fact. Yep. And I think this is something which is also the responsibility of the government, I have to say, to make sure that there is partnerships where these capabilities can be brought to the industry in Germany. And I think the government in Germany has made a very, very they have really done it, right? They were the first to do it. They were the first to come to us and say, we want a computer outside of the US, and it came to Germany. And now, because of that, actually we also, and this is also important, I think we internally also shifted resources to Germany, because we built up also the competences in Germany, also in the research in across Europe, Switzerland, Ireland, wherever. There are since then more people working on quantum computing at IBM to collaborate with people. And meanwhile, we have in Europe more than 94 partners who use our systems and who work at the leading edge. And so I think Germany has done a wonderful job also to do it, but I think there could be even more, because we all know these resources are also expensive, right? Because we are spending a lot of money in order to develop these resources and create these capabilities. But we are also very happy that we now expand in Germany the quantum computing data center to give even better access under the regulations of Europe, to make it easily accessible for the European and German users, and also give the security what the industry is also looking for.
Thank you. Mr. Breit, you want to comment, or?
My mind is still stuck on something that Mr. Ploss said, because you correctly said that we are far from being able to build our own computers or quantum computers in Germany right now on a hardware basis. But I do not know whether I think it's sobering or exciting that you, as the former CEO of the company in Germany that is closest, maybe with Bosch, to deliver something like this, come to that conclusion. I think there was one part to sovereignty that we need to address, because it's the same with global chips production. There is no German company that produces all things you need, but there is a bazillion of German small and medium enterprises part of that value chain. There's a ASML. NVIDIA is super dependent on ASML. ASML is super dependent on small and medium.
And Trumpf.
Yes, and from Trumpf too, but Trumpf too. But they are super dependent from German, from German small and medium enterprises. So the value chains are globally dependent. So in the end, and this is something that do you need to be at the end of the value chain? Do you need to be in the beginning of the value chain? I don't really know, but in the end, it doesn't matter, because sovereignty, as I said, is a goal that you need to achieve. And if the Americans, for example, when they strive for technological sovereignty, they do it in a way that makes them less dependent from global politics, especially vis-a-vis one or two other countries. And if we talk about that concept, we are talking about, we want to be part of these value chains. We need to be somewhat independent, but not autonomous. And this is, so in the end, are we able to build a computer now in Germany? Probably not. Is it a problem? Probably not.
I mean, I think you mentioned also the investments, right? And I think when we look at the investments which have been done from the governments across the world over the last 30, 40 years, then there is a clear trend that we have like two exponential curves, right? Which are from two countries. You can now guess where they are. One is on the left from Europe, one is on the west, and one is on the east of Europe, right? One is China and the other one is the US. And then there are these curves which are at the bottom, which are continuously kind of going, but the gap is increasing. And I think this is a fact which we in Europe also have to be aware that we may not be able to do without collaboration.
Of course, that's what
we need collaboration, and we need to make it, of course, in a smart way.
Yeah.
And I think a big advantage which we have, I think a big advantage which we have, that we have a very, very good kind of university system and a very good research system. But that's also something where we need to keep strong, because only if we have the smart, the intelligent, and also passionate and motivated people, then we can also compete.
Well, I fully agree that collaboration will be a key element moving forward. On the other side, the big question is, looking at Germany, where will be in future the large value creation? And we look into this today, and when you look at the largest company at a very high capital, enterprise value, they are very much in the digital domain. Now the question is, how is Germany, how is Europe moving forward? And there, I think the message is we have to take a piece in this domain in order to create additional value there and be part of it. If you are a user and potentially have, I would say, finally needing support for developing your chemicals and pharmaceutical, your value add will decrease. We will potentially not be the biggest manufacturing place for those. So we have to be a country where we create value in the domain of knowledge and so on. Therefore, my recommendation is to think how we can secure this, and I believe we have to be part of that game. And even if, I would say, in this the collaboration part, that he even have a substantial piece of it. And again, when we looked at in the 2018-19, it was very clear we have to be able to be autonomously capable in using quantum computing for key areas for industry, and at the best, which is a huge challenge, be able to have our own quantum computing, or even, and maybe having the quantum computing layer. And we are very happy that IBM is here and cooperating with IBM. But I think this is not enough to found the claim which we need to build. And that is where we come from. That is something which is beyond 26. Because I think, I would say, if Germany is successful on differentiating products and capabilities, now we have to build the foundation for the next generation of high differentiating technologies. And like digital is one, and we are good in pharmaceutical and many other things. We have to make sure that we are there. Look at autonomous driving, how much we depend on technologies outside of Europe. And I think here, that our big claim should be that we own a part when we own a part which is differentiating.
We have a little bit of time left, and I will come then to maybe last question or a last summary. If you can think about a future outlook over the next 5 years, what would be your wish, if you could wish from your counterpart here sitting, for example, on this stage at the moment? What would you, Mr. Breit, wish from the industry as a collaboration, supporter for collaboration? What would you, Heike, wish from the government and maybe from the German ecosystem altogether? And what would you, Mr. Ploss, wish also from the government or also your counterparts in ecosystem? Maybe in one sentence. Whoever wants to start.
Well, first of all, I really like what the government has done in order to push the quantum. So all what I said, please don't forget, we are very grateful. Please continue on that and use the capabilities you have as government in the domain of purchasing quantum computing application and hardware to support the local industry. And support the industry in, I would say, enabling intense collaboration for becoming a quantum application and quantum, I would say, hardware, software capable nation. And this, of course, collaborating with our, I would say, colleagues, trustworthy colleagues worldwide.
And we maybe move directly or to.
I can jump in, so you can close up the discussion. I would love to have the whole ecosystem be more vocal about the value of the technology in the long run, and that we need to invest now, because we are living in a time where there's money is short, obviously. Whether it is really short or whether there is just whether this is a political problem is another discussion, but money is short in the end now. So when it comes to the debate, 16 ministries fight for money, 16 ministers fight for money. Us from the Ministry of Economic Affairs would awfully love the support for the idea that we need to invest in the economy and especially in the future technologies. So wherever you can, be vocal about this, that we need to invest in future technologies. Not just quantum, there are others too, but this is a story I would love you to tell everyone.
I'm writing this down. That's definitely on our agenda. And Heike.
So, you know, I'm by heart a physicist, and I want to see, of course, our roadmap done, because this allows them to provide the infrastructure to our trusted partners to really create the advantage they need for their business. So providing the platform and collaborating on the software and the applications is something what we really want to do. And so I have good partners on both sides.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yes, so...
Actually, the group hug is usually what the politicians do in the end, but you made it perfectly.
Our trustworthy partner knows how to do it. Yes, thank you very much. I think we had some positive news for the community here about the continuation of quantum support. We hope it will really be like this, like as you said, Mr. Breit, and we will continue working together for development of technology and applications. Thank you very much. And with this, round of applause for our guests.
Okay.